Hi everybody, it's Bronwyn Frankham here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia on the central coast of New South Wales. Back in April this year, I had the opportunity to go to Onstage over in Auckland, New Zealand, and for the swaps I decided to do something with a kiwi flavour. So in my previous video I showed you how to do this kiwi here using Stampin' Up products, paper and inks, and today I'm going to show you how to do the little sheep. This was my second swap. So these cards are only small cards. There are 3x3 in the finished size, 3x3 inches. So this is the one that we're going to be working on today. So I've got for you a list of items that are used on this card. So we've got the cardstock Whisper White Thick, which I always use the Whisper White Thick for the actual base of the card. It keeps it nice and strong. We've got the Balmy Blue in the background, the Wild Wasabi for the grass, Pacific Points used for the butterflies, Whisper White for the sheep, and also basic black. The tools that you'll need to complete this are paper snips, the fringe scissors. Some of these items you'll notice are retired, so they're no longer available, and the 1/8 inch handheld punch, an oval punch, the tree builder punch, scalloped circle punch, sponge daubers, smoky slate stamping pad, butterfly beauty thinlet dies, and the swirl and curls embossing folder. Now I'll show you an example of some of those tools. Here is the oval punch. Now this is a retired product that I've used. Here's the cutout shape, and this is how I divided it in order to make my sheep. So out of one circle I get two faces and one pair of legs. So the face and the pair of legs from each oval. The tree builder punch, which looks like this. From that punch I have used the raindrop from the cloud, and I've cut that into two pieces. These two pieces make up the sheep's ears. And then the flower that comes from that punch, I've used 3 of those for the little fringe on the sheep. The other punch that I have used is the scallop circle punch, still available in the annual catalogue this year on page 186. And what I've done there for that one, and also for the fringe on the sheep, is I've used this little thing called a sponge dauber. So you put your finger in there and it's got a spongy tip on it. You use these with your ink and you just dab it on to the ink pad, and then go around the edge of your shape or your card, and it gives it that soft edge that just highlights the shape a little bit more. So the next thing that I used was on the background here. I've used this embossing plate, which is Swirls and Curls. That's still available in our Stampin' Up annual catalogue, and I put the paper through, and so it gives this really nice embossed effect. And I thought it looked like swirling clouds, perhaps windy Wellington. That reminds you of windy Wellington in New Zealand. For the butterflies, the little tiny butterflies, here's my Pacific Point cardstock, and these dies are all from the Butterfly Beauty Thinlet dies, and I've actually used these little ones down here to cut out just some little butterflies. I thought it just added a little bit more colour, depth of colour and dimension to the card. The other thing is the grass. So here's the grass down here. I've taken a piece of cardstock. This is wild wasabi. These are the fringed scissors. So unfortunately these aren't available anymore. You might be able to get some on some of the Facebook pages that sell retired, there's groups that sell retired products. But these scissors, I love these scissors, particularly for making grass. So you just go along like this. And then what I've done is I've used my paper snips and I've actually contoured the grass a little bit to give it a little bit more of a grassy look, and I just worked my way along, and this was the result. You can have short grass, long grass. It just gives it a little bit more interest. So I've already, in order to keep this video short and sweet, I've already prepared some of the sheep. Here's my card here. I'm just going to fold that now. That is a 3 by 6 inch piece of cardstock. Again, it's the thick white cardstock, scoring it in at the halfway point, which is 3 inches. So just folding it over on that score, using the bone folder to just press that down a little bit further, making it nice and flat. Here's the little card front that I've made a start on, and I'm going to be using the Tombow multi-purpose glue. I really like this glue as preferred adhesive. I find that it's quite forgiving, so when you're wanting to move things around, if you don't get it in the exact position that you want right at the beginning, using the Tombow just gives you a few moments to be able to move it, your shapes around, and get it in the exact position. So what I've done here is I've made the sheep up. So I've made, there's my background circle for the body, my legs, the face, the little fringe, the ears, and some eyes there. The eyes were made from the handheld punch. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue on the back of that and stick him down here. And then on the back of the third sheep, I have put a dimensional. So you can see the dimensional just there. So this is a sheet of the larger size dimensionals, and they lift your shape to give it more of a 3D effect. So we'll just pop that on the front there. And then all that's left to do is to put some Tombow on the back here. And just center this card front onto the 3x3. Now, there's something missing. The sheep don't have eyes yet. And I leave this to the last thing to do because I think it's really cute if you can give the sheep a little bit personality with where their eyes are looking. So I leave the eyeballs right until the end so that I've placed my sheep and I know where they're looking. And then I'm just using a pen. Now, I have tried using different pens to put the eyeballs on, and I find that if you use an ink pen, it's less likely to smudge, particularly if you've got any of the glue, the Tombow glue that I use to glue these eyes on. If there's any glue on the white circles, it makes it very, very hard to use a felt tip pen to get those eyeballs on, so an ink pen is a lot better. So just putting a bit of personality in there, and this one's going to be looking over to the side. So there you go. A very simple little card. You could put a sentiment inside, but I've just tried to keep that nice and simple. Thanks for watching today. If there's anything that you're interested in with the Stampin' Up products, you can look me up on Facebook, Bronwyn Frankham, Independent Stampin' Up Demonstrator. Thanks for watching. Bye.